Welcome back. Arts and Culture Minister Nathi Mthethwa has admitted that funds that were allocated to struggling artists were mismanaged. He told Parliament that funds were availed, but funds were mismanaged to the value of 300 million rand. Now, the minister met with artists yesterday who have been crying out in desperation. The arts and culture sector has been hammered by the cancellation of events. A SA Cultural Observatory study published in November last year found that 90% of the live music industry had lost income, and about a quarter of artists said they could not perform in any way. In February, artists drew up a petition calling for Mthethwa's removal after he tweeted that theatre was alive and well. He later apologised for the tweet. Let's speak now to the Cultural and Creative Industries Federation's Ayanda Roda. Mr. Roda, thank you for being with us. Were you part of the meeting with the minister? Can you give us any information?
Yes, you are right. The minister admitted that the funds were mismanaged, and the board did not do as it was expected, and also the management, as you would know, that contract of artists were to cut, and companies from the NAC had to be cut from the original budget that they've signed contract for, and which is something that has disturbed most of the artists' progress and work. Yeah. We had to delay and stop some project, and we had to take some of the stands with one of the organizations which had to go and do a sit-in in NAC to get these answers that we got from the minister yesterday, which it is also not pleasing to the creatives we have. Can
I clarify that the minister is saying the National Arts Council mismanaged funds? Because we will be speaking to the National Arts Council. So let's try and get to the bottom of this. Mismanaged in the way they were used for other things, or is this about the fact that the National Arts Council approved too many applications and then said, oh, well, actually, we can't afford all these applications, so we'll give everybody a little bit less money?
They have approved too many applications. They gave too many companies more money than what they had in their coffers, and it is in the virtue of saying would give certain companies a lot of money because they were benefiting as the previous board. It was also benefiting from those companies. As you would know, the example that we just received was that one company, one person had 4 companies, which is Arthur, and he has received money. He was about to receive money that is close to 6 to 7 million. Him as a company, it shows that the board and the management knew about these things, but they did not control them. So when we're saying funds were mismanaged, it is because of those things. To say, how do you give one person with different companies such amount of money, and you disadvantage other companies or individuals, which are artists that also qualify to receive money and work?
So this is incredible, and what you're talking about is corruption. Did the minister say that there were people guilty of corruption and something would be done about that?
He did not commit to such things, so we are looking for him to act on such matters, because we cannot have taxpayers' money being used to enrich certain individuals. We cannot allow such things to continue, because we are sitting with the problem of PACOFs being one of the institutions that have mismanaged funds, have flooded processes of PFMA. We are sitting with artists in Northern Cape that are suffering, also complaining about corruption and mismanagement of funds. So this thing in the creative sector, it has grown to a level that as artists we have to take it upon ourselves to challenge it. So he did not commit anything, but we are saying to him, he needs to act with speed in terms of acting to those that will be found guilty, acting to those that were involved in this corruption, and firing the CEO or suspending the CEO with the CFO won't assist anything, because in 3 years, the CEO of that institution, NAC, was suspended twice, and she came back and won the case.
Did he give you anything? You're saying he didn't commit to checking on that, presumably no more funds promised. Did the minister commit to anything?
Obvious to say in the agreement in the meeting, to say he will look into those things, but we are saying, can he look into those things with speed? Because as we're sitting with artists that their budget were cut in half, and they have already committed with the contracts with their employees and the funder, which is the NAC, but now they have to revisit the budget and the project plan, which is also disturbing. So we are saying, can the minister act to speed on that?
Yeah. We understand that the amount for individual artists had to be limited. So the National Arts Council was saying to now make sure that all the applicants received something, it would have to reduce the amount. And I think that was just over 10,000 Rand. Is that correct? So artists who haven't been working for a year, the best they can hope for in some cases is 10,000 Rand or thereabouts?
It depends on what the artists have applied, but most of them were committed, were received contracts that are above 18 to 25,000 as individual, but that is not what they have applied for. Some of them have applied an amount of 500,000, and when they came back, they've received 100,000. I mean, we cannot be able to do a job of 500,000 with 100,000. It's actually going to cause artists to be incompetent and not deliver on what they wanted to deliver on their project. So that's a challenge that they had to put artists under. And we are saying the board must be dissolved. We are clear about that. We are saying those who will be found guilty must face the fire.
All right, we'll get a response from the National Arts Council, accused there basically of corruption. The artist saying that the minister says he'll look into it. We'll speak to a member of the National Arts Council and also ask where that funding is right now. That, in the meantime, was the Cultural and Creative Industries Federation's Ayanda Roda. We take